The purpose of these lessons is to show you the logic behind the most basic Chinese characters, beginning with the simplest pictograms, and later combining these elements to create more complex characters. Today's lesson is 7 characters related to babies, before, during, and after birth. The first pictogram consists of a person with a noticeably overstretched abdomen and a fetus developing inside. This character is pronounced first tone, bao, bao, and means to contain within, with extended connotations of swelling or bump, bundle or package, to wrap, include, and to guarantee, meaning all-inclusive, no surprise charges. 书包 is a book bag. 书包. If you recall, in Lesson 7, we learned that the large number of homonyms in Chinese leads to ambiguity, and one way to counteract this is by repeating the noun, such as 星星, meaning star. In this lesson, we now have another example, 包包, meaning a handbag. The next character in today's lesson depicts the final hours of the mother's pregnancy, with a fully developed fetus about to be born. The mother's body is no longer the focal point and does not appear. This character is pronounced third tone, yi, and means to stop, end, or already. Originally, the end of gestation. Notice that there is a gap where the lines do not fully meet. This is to distinguish this character from 2 similar ones that will be introduced in a future lesson. To remember this gap, recall that at birth, a baby's head has a soft spot where the top of the skull has not yet completely closed, called the fontanelle in English. This character is extremely useful to express past actions. A somewhat literary example would be 上天已定, literally, in heaven above, already decided. Or, in more natural English, it is preordained. Another useful phrase is placing 不宜 at the end of an expression, indicating the action or feeling does not stop, such as boundless happiness, irrepressible excitement, non-stop praise, or possibly constant arguing. As time goes on, we'll have more vocabulary to supply examples. The next character is the opposite situation, where the gestation period is incomplete and the fetus continues to develop inside the mother's body. To express this idea, the fetus is reversed, drawn upside down, and the person radical is added to clarify the concept and distinguish this character from others. So, by means of the mother's body, the fetus continues to grow. This character is also pronounced third tone, yi, and means to use, take, or by means of, since the fetus must continue to use its mother's womb. As we continue these lessons, more vocabulary will become available to demonstrate how useful this simple ideogram is. For now, we can use it with directions, such as 2000人以上, over 2,000 people, literally to take a number over 2,000, because it's above that figure. The opposite would be less than 2,000 people, 2000人以下. Now that we've seen the fetus inside the womb, 包, the termination of pregnancy, 一, number 1, and mid-pregnancy, E, number 2, we come to the character for the birth itself, when the mother's water finally breaks, causing blood and fluid to flow. This character is pronounced second tone, liu, and means to flow, as applied to rivers, tears, blood, and saliva, or to anything that wanders or spreads unchecked, from refugees to fashions to idle gossip. When talking about the heavens, a comet is called 流星, literally a wandering star. Flowing water would be 流水, and water that won't stop flowing would be 水流不止. Literally, water flows and doesn't stop. Referring to rivers, upstream is 上流 and downstream is 下流. However, these terms can also refer to the social spectrum. 上流, high or polite society, and its opposite, the lower classes, 下流, with their coarse manners, obscene language, and general nastiness. A vulgar person could be described as 下流的人. The next character in today's lesson is the newborn infant, drawn swaddled in cloth with arms raised. Pronounced third tone, 子, 子, and sometimes neutral tone, 子, 子. When pronounced third tone, 子, this character means a child, usually a son, and in ancient times was a title of respect for a learned or virtuous man, similar to master in English. Here are 3 examples. 天子, son of heaven, the emperor. 才子, a gifted scholar. And 太子, the crown prince. The unstressed neutral tone, 子, is much more useful in the spoken language. As I've mentioned many times, Chinese syllables are limited in number, resulting in lots of homonyms. Adding an unstressed 子 is one way the spoken language creates instantly recognizable nouns. For example, in this lesson we've learned 2 new characters, both pronounced third tone, 一. If that sounds confusing, it gets worse, because a typical dictionary lists at least 25 characters with that same pronunciation, not counting any other tones. But by adding a neutral tone, 一字, a Mandarin speaker can instantly deduce the first character, the combination meaning chair, 一字. Also, if a person is dictating over the phone a name or address containing the single character chair, the person writing will often ask, which 一? And the immediate response would be 一字的一, the E of chair. This is an everyday occurrence due to the abundance of homonyms. Here are some examples of unstressed 子 added to create nouns, written in romanization as one word. 包子, a steamed, meat or vegetable-filled bun. 夹子, a clip of any sort or a folder for a document. 本子, a notebook or booklet. 日子, meaning a special day or date, a period of one's life, etc. By adding the character for land or dirt, 土, we can create the disparaging phrase 土包子, a country bumpkin unfamiliar with the ways of modern city life. 包 is sometimes pronounced fourth tone to better express disdain, 土包子. If we add the hut or roof radical over the child pictogram, we have created a character originally meaning to give birth and bring up a child, which naturally was in the home. This character is pronounced fourth tone, 字, 字. On hearing this pronunciation, we can correctly presume it to be a phono-semantic compound, with the child component serving as the phonetic. The original meaning, to bear and raise a child, has given way in modern Chinese to its extended meaning of a single character in Chinese, or a single word in Western languages. This connotation came about because early crude drawings of physical objects were eventually combined to literally give birth to complex characters. To say an unfamiliar character in Chinese, or a new vocabulary word in English, the correct phrase is 生字. 生, of course, having its original meaning of just born, raw, or unfamiliar. The final character in today's lesson is the infant swaddled in cloth, with arms and legs tightly bound inside. Pronounced either third tone, liao, liao, or neutral tone, le, le. The infant is completely constrained, giving rise to the meaning of finish or bring to a conclusion, with the extended connotation of understand clearly, so as to make a wise decision. This is a split sound character. A common phrase, lamenting a situation that seems like it will never end, is 没完没了, such as a nagging child or an argument that goes on far too long. 没完没了. Some set idioms with this character dating back hundreds of years are 不了了之, settle a matter by ignoring it, letting a matter slide. Literally, conclude by not concluding. This common phrase is used to criticize someone who takes no action to solve a problem and pretends it doesn't exist. Another idiom is 一了百了. Literally, settle one, settle 100. In other words, to solve a problem once and for all. Be finished with it for good. This phrase is an example of 3 third tones in succession. Notice that the middle character changes to second tone. The others remain unchanged. Most useful is the neutral tone of this character, pronounced le, le. It's an indispensable grammar particle indicating a finished action in the past, present, or future, somewhat akin to the English perfect tenses, for pointing out a change in the situation. I remember this concept by picturing a crying baby who has wet himself and needs a change of diaper. Here are 2 examples. 包包丢了. I've lost my bag, with the subject understood. In Chinese, this use of le connotates an unexpected change in the situation, such as, oh my God, my keys and money are in that bag. What am I going to do? Another scenario. 2 of my friends and I arranged to meet up. I arrive late, and notice one friend isn't there. Where's Jane? The other friend replies, 人回家了, or 人回去了, or 人走了. All these sentences can be translated as she left, implying, what did you expect? She got tired of waiting. Now you've ruined our plans for the evening. A once pleasant situation has changed for the worse. Finally, we have the extremely common 太, le sentence pattern with an adjective in between. The particle le indicates a sudden realization or change in attitude, along with possible implications. 太生了. It's too raw or undercooked, so I don't want to eat it. 太白了. It's too pale or white. Choose another color. White doesn't suit you. 太久了. That takes too long. I don't feel like waiting. 太重了. It's too heavy. How do you expect me to carry it? Here is our color chart with today's 7 characters and their correct stroke order. 包 子 柳 字 乙 了 and another different E. The following chart shows these same characters in printed form. To fix the characters in your memory, copy them onto colored sheets of paper as suggested in previous videos. Blue, green, pink, yellow, and white. Underline any homonyms and circle those characters with more than one pronunciation. So, what have we learned in today's lesson? 1. The pictogram of a pregnant woman, 包, means to contain within, with extended connotations of swelling, package, wrap, include, and even an all-inclusive guarantee. 2. A book bag is 书包 and a handbag is 包包, the latter being another example of a reduplicated character forming a noun, like in Lesson 7, 星星. 3. A fully developed fetus is the character 已, meaning already or to stop, the end of a pregnancy. This character is very useful to express past actions. Remember to leave a gap when writing it. 4. Adding 不已 at the end of some verbs or adjectives literally means non-stop, endless, constant. 5. If a fetus is not fully developed, it must remain inside the mother's womb. This is expressed by drawing the fetus upside down, meaning the fetus must continue to make use of the mother's body. This is one way Chinese expresses the idea of to take, to make use of, by means of. 6. If we take a number above or below a certain figure, the phrases 以上 and 以下 can be added. For example, over 100, 100以上, under 100, 100以下. 7. The character depicting the birth of a child is quite graphic, consisting of the water radical on the left, a baby leaving the birth canal, and bloody fluid below. Pronounced liu, it means to flow, wander aimlessly, or spread unchecked. 8. Flowing water is 流水, and water flowing uncontrolled is 水流不止. 9. The upper reaches of a river is 上流, and downstream is 下流. Both terms can be applied to the upper or lower classes in society, and the adjectives describing them. 10. A newborn infant swaddled in cloth with raised arms is pronounced 子 or 子. Third tone for child or master when referring to the emperor or to scholars such as Confucius, and unstressed neutral tone when creating nouns such as 包子 for a steamed bun. 11. An infant under a roof means to bear and raise a child, pronounced fourth tone, 字. In modern texts, this ideogram is used to refer to a single Chinese character or a single word in Western languages. Markings on auricle bones gave birth to modern characters, hence the use of 字 to indicate this. A new vocabulary word is called 生字. 12. An infant constrained within swaddling clothes is the ideogram meaning to finish, put an end to, bring to a conclusion. To bring a matter to a good conclusion requires a clear understanding and wisdom, all of which are extended connotations of this simple two-stroke character pronounced liao or le. 13. An unpleasant situation can be described as 没完没了 if it seems never-ending. 14. 不了了之 means to settle a matter by ignoring it, and 一了百了 means to solve a problem once and for all. 15. The neutral, unstressed pronunciation of this character, le, indicates a finished action and a resultant change in the situation. For example, 太子大了, the crown prince has grown up. The speaker may simply be surprised at the prince's appearance, or believe that he is old enough to be given more responsibilities. A change is implied. Now you will find a short quiz on double, triple character, and longer expressions. Answer using only the characters learned so far. Thank you for watching and listening.